Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week on the show, we are discussing if cheap really does mean crap in the world of bikes, components and accessories.
And in hot tech, we've got a bike caravan, we've got new wheels from Campagnolo, we've got a crazy aero bike and some really cool calipers, as well as comments of the week and the bike vault.
Let's do it.
Okay, right, main talking point. This week, I wanted to discuss about the price of things and the fact that we can't really use price to decide if something is good or not. I know that does seem like how lots of people approach it, but I think I want to explore this and discuss it further.
Yeah, I think you're right because, you know, expensive stuff doesn't always mean good and cheap stuff doesn't always necessarily mean rubbish either.
Yeah.
There's plenty of outliers to this and you can't always go off purely price when you're deciding what you should and shouldn't buy.
Yeah, I think it's the first port of call for people, isn't it? Because without somehow constructed, like doing an analysis of the item or whatever it is you want to buy, the price is your first point of deciphering whether it's good or not. And the assumption is, well, if someone is charging a lot of money for this, it's because they've spent a lot of money making it and developing it. But I feel quite strongly in saying that's not always the case. And it's also not always the case for if something is cheap, it is just going to be rubbish, because there are some things that are cheap and still actually quite good. Yeah,
I think we as humans, we're kind of flawed in this regard. There's been a few studies on this. So when we see like a bottle of wine or maybe like a box of painkillers, naturally we assume that because it's got a higher price tag, the wine's going to taste better or the painkillers work better. That's kind of like an innate thing we have. Just from our experience of how social markets work and our experience of thinking like, because that's got a higher price tag, other people think it's good, and we kind of think it's good as well.
But I think, so yeah, I totally get that, but what I think we all need to try to do, myself included, because I'm guilty of doing this all the time, looking and thinking it's more expensive, so it's better. You need to judge the product on the things that are actually really important. Is it, what are the things it's made from? Who's designed it? Has it been tested well? Are the materials reliable? Are there other people using it as a sort of validation that it's functional and is going to last you well, rather than going, oh yeah, of course it's great, it's expensive.
Exactly. And interestingly, there's actually a study by Yale University researchers that found that capuchin monkeys, they don't have this bias. So they judge something on whether it is good or not on whether other people think it's good or if it's got a high price tag.
Well, I mean, this sounds actually incredible, because I'm assuming it's because the monkeys don't grasp the concept of value. But the fact of like the food items being used to do this is also like a common theme I've seen, like even just on TV programs, right, where you've got cheap and expensive food items, and you've got those die-hard fans that are like, I'll always buy the named brand tomato ketchup because it's by far the best one. And then when they're presented with two like portions of ketchup and they don't know which one's cheap or which one's expensive, most of the time people can't even tell the difference.
It's very true.
It's not quite the same in the world of bikes, because obviously there is going to be a difference between different things, but I think we all need to sometimes remember there's lots of more affordable or cheaper parts that are more than adequate for what we could ever need. And we don't need to be drawn into having a bike to do the Tour de France if we're not going to do the Tour de France.
That's it. I think what's important is like the value that item gives you personally. Yeah. Because you can go for something that is super lightweight, super performance orientated.
Yeah.
But if that's not the sort of riding you're aiming to do, then it's not going to give you the most value. Whereas something that's potentially cheaper, that's more durable, that's stronger, that's still going to serve you for the purpose of your riding, is arguably going to give you more value.
So that's one of the things you said there, like, I think is really important to discuss here. Cheaper and more durable, because it feels like two things that wouldn't go together. You go, oh, if it's cheaper, it might not last as long. But I think what sometimes is happening, certainly in the bike industry, and lots of different industries, to be honest, is when you try to really refine a product for pure performance, it's often at the cost of longevity or durability, or maybe in some cases even just basic functionality, because you've got something really dialed in for that purpose. Whereas if you can get something that's more robust, maybe not going to be quite as light, it could be cheaper and then going to last you a little bit longer. I think there's that trade-off, isn't there? Of do you buy, what's the phrase? You buy cheap, buy twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Poor man pays twice.
yeah, all that. But there's also like environmental impacts, I guess, that come from this. Things like cheaper items might not necessarily be made with people in great working conditions or being paid like a fair salary and stuff. So I don't know, have you got any thoughts on that kind of
It's
stuff?
just it's how you get to that price, and is it worth it? I think is the bottom line, and that's as I say, it applies to everything we buy at the moment, like throwaway fashion and cheap clothing. Like you get a really cheap like set of undies, but is it actually worth it in terms of the cost to society as a whole?
Probably, I think people are going to come to this conclusion as well, but there's probably the middle ground is the safest option. You're getting, hopefully more of your money is going on the product rather than just spending all the extra money for the super fancy brand name as well. And at least because you've spent a bit more money on the product, hopefully that investment of extra money has actually gone on it rather than just being spent on things that aren't actually contributing to it.
Yeah.
I haven't actually explained why I got onto this subject in the first place. So did you see the AliExpress build that GmbN did the other day?
I did see it.
What's your thoughts?
My initial thought was there's lots of sparkly bits on that bike.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Like, I saw the bike before knowing that was what it was. And at first glance, I was like, oh man, look at that bike. That's so cool. And then someone told me that the whole thing is constructed from AliExpress parts, and it was maybe, I want to say, under £1,000, euros or dollars kind of thing, which is kind of mad. I think we should try and do something on the road side of things. You reckon?
I think so. With sparkly bits.
With sparkly bits, yeah. I don't know, look, the main point I want to get across here is we all just need to reinforce the fact that don't get drawn in by price, do the research about the item first. I think we should open up to everyone in the comments as well. What do you find is the best balance between low price, expensive price, and what suits your sort of needs the best?
Right then, time for some hot tech now, starting off with these calipers, which Alex spotted.
Yeah, well, so as we've just been discussing, GmbN kind of inspired a lot of me to do some searching online, actually. And these are some hydraulic disc brake calipers that I found on AliExpress. And I'm going to throw it out there. Forget about the price. They look incredible. Now when I tell you the price, people are going to be like, what the hell? £40 for a front and rear disc brake caliper, machined from aluminium. You've got 5 different colours to choose from. Firstly, people that watch the tech channel will know that I've currently got a set of coloured brake calipers.
Yeah, and I thought they looked really cool.
You do?
I saw them straight up and I was like, that is cool. They're just different.
Good.
They're different.
I wasn't sure what your feelings would be on coloured brake calipers, but all right then.
Well, considering I once designed a bike to look like a unicorn.
Okay, so I'm actually really tempted to buy a set of these and fit them onto my bike to see what they're like, because at £40 for a pair, I feel like you can't go wrong. You can go wrong if the brakes don't work properly, because that would be quite bad.
Yeah, it's the one area of your bike that maybe is worth not skimping on.
Yeah.
But as we've been saying, are we judging them off the value?
Yeah.
Are we judging them off the value?
I think we might be, that's the issue. So they're machined from 7075 aluminium. They're designed to work with mineral oil, so basically Shimano brakes rather than SRAM. Compatible with, they've listed it out here, basically they're all Shimano brake pad sizes. So they've just gone, look, Shimano make cool brake pads, let's just make it so their brake pads fit in our calipers. 97 grams without any brake adapters on them. And I did the shortest bit of research earlier as well. A Shimano Dura-Ace disc brake caliper is also 97 grams, but they are about £120 each, whereas these are like £20 each. So
a third of the price.
I might order them and give them a go. I don't know.
I think you should. Yeah, let's get them on your bike.
Yeah, all right. Right, next up is, I can't believe I'm saying this, a Campervan that you can attach to the back of your bike. Over to you.
I've seen this now in the last few years as it's been developed. I've seen a few articles on it, and I've been wanting to try this for so long. It's incredible. This is made by a company called Wide Path Campers. I think they're based out in Denmark, and they basically design like caravan-style campers that you can tow your bike from your bike. Like really small, minimal things. I think the smallest one just sleeps one, but you can get them up to 2 people, and they kind of fold out. So when you stop static, they reckon you can fold it out in about 3 minutes.
I've got a quote here though, taken from their website. This mobile tiny house, in inverted commas, offers instant shelter from the weather, a comfortable bed for up to 2, and a convertible space for 4 adults to dine, relax, and camp in style.
I think it's incredible. I absolutely love it. I so want to try this. I don't know if it's rated for people who are 6'8". Like
I'm going to say probably not.
I might have to stick my feet through the window, but I'm willing and able.
Right. So you've got 2 options available at the moment. You've got a red one and a white one. The white one appears to be €300 cheaper than the red one. And it's kind of like GCN red as well, so you'd have to get the red one, wouldn't you?
Have to get the red one. They have different options. They have ones that you can tow from your car. They even have this real cool one that goes on one of those. It's like it's an ape, those 3-wheel trikes. I think it's Piaggio.
Okay, yeah.
And you put it on the back of the flatbed, and it just tow it along. And it was so cool. I'm in love with it.
I mean, everyone can get involved in the comments. What do you think of this kind of little bike caravan, and how much would you pay or be really wanting to see Conor try and squeeze into one and go bikepacking with it? I mean, is this a thing like some of the big Dan challenges? We get enough likes behind it, we'll get a caravan. I don't think it is, but I mean, I'd love to see it happen. Right. Next up in hot tech, some actual exciting bike tech news. Campagnolo have released a new set of bike wheels. They are the Shamals, which they're positioning as a kind of on-road, off-road, all-road type of wheel set.
Yeah, it's not like endurance space.
Yeah, it is. This one has got a wavy profile. Is that right?
I like a wavy profile.
Yeah.
I can't make up my mind why. I do, but I like it. I think maybe it's because it's different, or there's just more curved carbon.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I like it. You're not.
I'm
convinced.
torn. Well, I was just saying to you earlier that I feel like I liked wavy profile rims or alternating profile, but I feel like I'm starting to go off the idea just from a visual perspective more than anything. I don't want to. I can't even begin to question any of these like claims some brands make with aero and stuff like that. Some people would argue it's debatable, but if someone's tested it and says it's faster, whatever. I haven't tested it, but yeah, nonetheless, these wheels have got an alternating profile from 45mm at the spoke holes, dropping down to 40mm in between. We've got a claimed weight, 1,480 grams, which Campagnolo say is about 100 grams lighter than the previous versions. And in terms of prices, £1,649.99 or €1,890. Sorry, I haven't got any prices in dollars at the moment. And in terms of some of the spec of the wheel, well, I've said the weights. They've got 23mm internal rim width, so like you're fitting your wider tyres on this basically.
Yeah, so 28 and up.
Yeah, and cup and cone wheel bearings, so similar to the tech that's used on the more premium Campagnolo wheels. So like you can use a service them and adjust them, which is pretty cool.
Nice. I think my theory is that like a nice traditional frame set goes well with a wheel set that's a bit out there in terms of like a slightly different design. I'm talking purely aesthetically here.
Okay, yeah, like you like that, like a posing. Yeah, I like that too. Well, talking of traditional frames, we're going to go the complete flip of that. Like, I found this when I was first. I don't know if I was served an ad or I just saw it on Instagram, basically. And the radical design basically caught my eye. And it's from this company called, let me get it right, Vasili Design Studios. And the one that I've actually picked out is the Cobra Race 111 Evoluzione, or Evoluzione.
We couldn't tell if this was real or not. It's real, though. But it's just so out there. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for out there. I'm all for pushing the boundaries a bit, but this is...
So the one they've got a few different like models and concepts on their website, but the one that we're looking at has got this really crazy like sharp beam coming out of the head tube.
I wouldn't want to crash on this bike.
No.
I would not want to crash. I'm also very nervous about spearing my legs on it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's basically like taking a concept bike into reality.
So when you go on their Instagram page, right, there is loads and loads of these things. Some of them I think are literally just computer renders. But I think the fact that they've brought some of these crazy designs to life, I think I'm a big fan of. Like, look at the forks, the profile of it, the handlebars, the way the rear stays, like, go crazy. Like, the other week, Josh Portner was here, and Ollie and I were talking to him about what would happen to bike design if someone sort of ripped up the rule book. What would you think would happen? I guess you'd start to see kind of crazier things like this.
I like how it's different.
I'm all in for some of these radical designs.
Yeah, and if you want to ride around on a bike that is a bit of a talking point, I mean,
yeah, that is
a talking point.
That is. I haven't got any information about like prices or availability on this, but one thing I did see on their website was that one of these crazy frame designs was only available in 2 sizes. You had a 54 or a 56, and they were made to order. So these are like super, super niche things.
Yeah, proper bespoke.
But yeah, I'm all for it. That pretty much wraps up Hot Tech this week, actually. But a little reminder, we've, of course, got our weekly Zwift GCN club rides going on. You did one a couple of weeks back, I think.
Yeah, it was great fun. Thanks for joining.
So, yeah, looking forward to getting more of those done and get them under your belt. If you want to get involved, join the GCN Zwift club and you won't miss out. There you go. Right, it's now time for comments of the week. This is the part of the show where we read out the comments you've been leaving under the videos from last week.
There we go.
First up, do you want to read some of these out from last week's tech show?
Yeah, this one was sent in by DailyRash8769. When I was a junior dad back in the 2000s, 14-year-old kids would show up on the latest carbon frames and Mavic $5,000 track wheels to race against kids on rental or old loaner bikes. I'm all in on restrictions for juniors.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. ADJ Clark says, I still think that that as professional racers, riders should choose the type of bike they want to use and use it for the entire race, even for time trials. Yeah, that's maybe one way of simplifying stuff, like basically rule out time trial bikes, or if you want to use a time trial, you've got to use it for the hilly stages as well.
That's an interesting take.
I wonder if you could make up enough time on some sections that it doesn't matter if you're really slow at climbing. Okay, we're going really off on a tangent.
Yeah, I think that's a different discussion point.
I'm just going to put it out actually super quick. You've got a road stage, finishes up Alpe d'Huez. What would be your thoughts if you saw Pogacar on the start line on a time trial bike and he was just going to go solo early and then hang on to the end and hope he survived? That would not be mega telly.
The leader of the race has to ride a time trial bike. That'll spice things up.
Right, there you go. Right, let's back to normality here. Come on then.
Seth Griffiths, notice how they have to lift the speed up to 50 km/h to take advantage of the exponential wind resistance to create a larger figure. One day it will be, this is 8 watts faster than the previous model at 125 km/h.
Yeah, I mean, they raise quite a good point. To find these differences between bikes, you've got a testament of quite high speed anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, on the video that I made at the weekend explaining how big brakes aren't really going to make you stop any faster. It's more about optimising your tyres first. There's loads and loads of people in the comments that got really fired up about this. People are like, that's rubbish, you're trying to sell me wider tyres. I'm not trying to sell anyone wider tyres. I'm trying to raise awareness that optimise your tyres before optimising your brakes, basically. Anyway, it was fun to discuss, and I feel like it's a super in-depth subject that I really just scratched the surface on. First comment from that video, someone says, great video. I'm glad you first pointed out that if your brakes aren't up to scratch, then fix that first. The other thing to point out is that bigger brakes will require less effort at the lever for people with poor hand strength. Yeah, completely agree.
Nigel Cliff wrote in this, if people don't understand contact patch versus grip versus braking response, they shouldn't be riding.
I strongly disagree. I just think like that is anyone can ride a bike. You don't have to be like a science nerd. Like, you don't have to know the difference between contact grip to ride across town, but I think it was a video to try and improve people's awareness of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then we had a double disc wheel. Do you want to go with the first one?
Yeah, Haggard Grin said, I always thought a double disc with mudguards would be like a divide by zero thing for the universe. Glad to see we haven't all imploded.
Yeah, funnily enough, my road bike with mud guards and double disc wheels wasn't really any faster. They did look cool.
It does look cool. I really want to try it. I do really want to try the feeling of
Do you want to try the wheels?
I'd love to try the double
They're
disc wheels.
downstairs.
Yeah,
you can. We'll put them in your bike. It'd be great. You go do the school run with the double disc wheels in. Glen Curler. Yeah. They say need to redo this test on some gusty lanes with lots of buildings, side streets and hedgerows. I don't want to do that because I think it would be pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always use deeps, as deep as possible I used to run. But because I'm so big and heavy, never had much of an impact on me. But it is just when you want to take your hands off the bars or those like gates with side gusts that come through a little gap in the hedge and you can't get quite out.
I seem to, because people wouldn't realise, but we did a lot of bike racing together back in the day. But I do seem to remember you just always have the deepest wheels possible.
Let's go deep as possible, yeah.
It'd be like massive crosswind day. You'd be like, Conor's got like 80mm deep wheel in front. Yeah, fine.
Well, they fell faster and I figured out I got so heavy that I didn't really adversely affect me, apart from just like if it was very gusty, you'd struggle to get your jacket off with no hands. But
yeah, well, there you go.
Whack them in, and the noise is good for your psychology.
It is. Right, it's now time for the Bike Vault, where you upload pictures of your bikes via the link in the description down below, and then Conor and I will judge them to be nice or super nice. If they're super nice, the bell gets rung.
Oh yeah, where's the bell stored? It's my first tech site. All right.
You can take control of the bell today, mate.
Go on then.
Right, the first one is from FXD_Vic. They say it was the first track frame. Got loads of information here, but wow, I like it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like all the sort of chrome effect and super shiny. Chinelli.
It's really clean, real clean setup. I love the silver rims.
Yeah, and the super white saddle.
Yeah.
I feel like this bike has been built, but not yet ridden.
It's on its maiden voyage. I like the bars on it. I'd like to try those bars on a fixie.
With double discs as well?
With double discs. Double discs would look cool on that. I think that has to be in the bike.
Super nice?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Look at him.
Yannick NL with a new Canyon Air Road, beautifully white bar tape. Used the new bike day experience at the Canyon Factory Service Centre in Eindhoven. This beauty of a bike.
Oh, that's mega.
Oh, that's cool. They've got your name on the screen behind as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Right, that's going straight to the bike vault.
Yeah.
Little bit dark. Could have been slightly better lit, but we'll
turn your screen brightness up. Fix that yourself.
That is true. that is true.
Nadav Levatin. They say this is a 2006 T-Mobile Giant TCR Team Edition, 105 11-speed mechanical. Saddle's a vintage San Marco. I quite like it. I don't know if it's the setup of the bike, the angle the picture's taken at. It does look like the front looks crazy high compared to the back of the bike.
Yeah, those bikes, they have a height, they're a dramatic sloping top tube, don't they?
Yeah.
They really do.
So cranks are not aligned.
Yeah, we're picking up on a few details here.
Yeah. The wheels are aligned, but they're not probably aligned in the orientation that I would say is optimal, like for the valves.
Aligned, yeah, that's something I'd do, to be fair.
Align the valves at 2 o'clock.
I'd align the valves at 2 o'clock, so fair play, I'm not going to mark you down a point on that.
Okay.
I think it's a cracking looking bike.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm wanting to be like lenient this week.
We're being lenient?
Yeah, super nice. Go on.
Super nice. There we go. Straight in.
You go to the next one.
So this one was sent in by Ryan. It's a standard. I'm not going to get
I
the
don't know how you
pronunciation
say
of this.
the model.
Cresage.
Sounds good to me. I mean, we've got two people here that are rubbish at pronunciation.
I did Italian in school, not Germany, and I still can't get the old.
Well, I tell you what is the most important thing. It looks incredible.
It looks nice. I love these bikes. Absolutely banging.
Slam dunked that stem.
Yeah.
Super aggressive position.
Very aggressive, isn't it? It stems down. Saddle's kind of pointing down to accommodate it, it looks like. So super aero.
I like it.
Solid wheel set in there.
Yeah.
Have we got some details on the wheels? The rim? It looks like a 60.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 60. Not deep enough for you.
No, okay, get those 80s in there. Nice 105 Di2.
Yeah.
That's nice. I
like the chrome, like chromed logos. I think they're really cool.
Yeah, and I like the traditional aspects to that frame set as well. Just like traditional seat, post collar, normal headset.
Yeah. Super nice, the hell out of that.
Super nice that. Nice colour on it. I like the two-tone blue.
Raphael next. It's a Cannondale CAD 3 Seiko, which they said they built up entirely from the frame of fork. The frame was a gift from their father who rode it for many years. Wow, that's actually a cool story. It's hard to say cool story without sounding sarcastic.
No, I love this. It is absolutely beautiful. You can't, a Cannondale CAD 3 as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, I do like a story behind the bike.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, there's a couple I've got actually right at the top of the shed, like keep me trying to build them up. And I need to get round to it. Ollie's inspiring me with his retro build. You
need to get a move on if you're going to do any bike builds, because I'm about to start a fresh budget build soon.
Are you?
I'm going to rival Ollie's build. I reckon I'm going to get mine done before he's taking so long with this.
Right. I love that. I love the black and gold as well. Beautiful.
Okay, last two. Let's be...
Get it in.
Pavolic Albert with a fake SL6. Okay, interesting.
Oh, interesting. Fake SL6. Get the photo up.
I quite like it. It looks cool. The picture is really busy. You could have put far more effort into it.
I think we can't let this one go through.
No, I said I was being lenient.
Yeah, but we're being too lenient here. We need a bit more. So it's a fake SL6.
What does it say on the down tube?
I'm not sure if...
No, I don't know.
I think that's just a...
It's the generic.
Oh, no, that's the brand.
Yeah?
Yeah. Haven't heard of them before.
No.
It's an AliExpress build, obviously based on an SL6. Interesting.
Well, I think it's got potential being really cool, but the picture has got zero input and effort gone into it, I'm afraid.
Looks like the frame set retails for about £335 sterling.
Whoa!
Which is cheap.
Don't use the price to judge it, though,
Don't use the price to judge it.
I'm going to say just nice, I'm sorry.
You're going just nice. I think the photo is letting it down, if I'm honest. But looks solid. Let us know how you get on with it in the comments.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mike G for the last one this week, and this looks absolutely mega. Custom painted Enigma Evoke, new SRAM red group set, Envy forks, boom, bish bash bosh. Yeah, I'm kind of like lost for words, to be honest.
Oh,
I think
that's
it's
nice.
sick.
That is nice. Yeah, that is, straight in there.
Super nice.
Super nice, that.
There's not even anything more to say about it. Just
beauty.
What a beauty.
Beauty.
Okay, well, that was the last bike in the Bike Vault for this week, which means this week's tech show has drawn to a close. Conor, it's been good to have you on the show,
Thanks for having me.
Good chatting through cheap versus expensive stuff. As we said, please do get involved in the comments section down below and share your thoughts. And that's it from us, right? Be out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.